let me just say, today's video, it's gonna be a long one. Grab your matcha tea, water, whatever you drink. Today we got some coffee and it's very, very cold, so it might as well be iced coffee in a mug. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be testing out some hot new makeup products. I'm talking affordable and high-end. I have a good mixture between both in today's video, which I know you guys love. Now, personally, these are my favorite videos to film, but I know you guys already know that. I am doing things a little bit differently this month. Any product I feature in like a first impressions or testing out new makeup type of video, I will be including in a later video at the end of the month. I'm going to title it Speed Reviews, just so that way you guys know what's hot and what's not. So if you're new here, make sure you guys are subscribed and make sure your notifications are turned on, so that way you guys are notified as to when I post that video. With that being said, let's go ahead and zoom on in and let's get started on today's look. Now, before we get into today's video, I do want to quickly talk about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. If you guys are not familiar with Skillshare, which I'm pretty sure you are, because it is probably one of the best online learning communities with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. When I say creators, I don't really want to put anyone in a box, because the platform really is for any and everyone, whether you are an inspiring creator, an active creator, a dabbler, a learner, or someone really wanting to perfect an existing skill. For me personally, I feel like the courses and the workshops that really interest me are courses on productivity, because that is an area that I need a lot of work in. Whenever I think of productivity, I always think about how could I be more efficient with my time. So I started taking a course by Ali Abdaal, which is called Productivity for Creators. And let me tell you, my mind was instantly blown. He talked about the Parkinson's Law. And in simpler terms, the Parkinson's Law really states that whatever time you have allocated towards a specific task is how long it's going to take you to get it done. So if I say it's going to take me 5 hours to film this video, it's going to take me 5 hours to film the video. Whereas if I say it's only going to take me an hour and a half, it's only going to take me an hour and a half. And that really explains why after I'm done filming, I feel like my day is completely gone. And that's simply because I'm not being productive with my time and I'm allocating too much time towards one specific task, which means I can't really get anything else done in my day. So since taking that course, I started taking other courses on like Google Calendar and time blocking and things like that. And let me tell you, I'm so excited to continue taking these courses because I'm really eager to see how they change up my day-to-day life. So I highly encourage you guys to check out Skillshare if you guys want to learn a new skill, if you guys want to check out the courses on productivity or Adobe Illustration, or let's say bullet journaling or anything of that nature. I'm going to have a link down below in the description. The first 1,000 people to click the link will get a free trial of a premium membership. So make sure you guys check it out. Again, you can pick any course of your liking if you click the link down below to get that free trial. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video, and huge shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. So to kick off today's video, I'm gonna start off with an eyeshadow primer that I've been loving by Rare Beauty. This one's so good. You guys have to go and check it out. I know, spoiler alert, I have been using it in almost every single one of my makeup videos because it really is just that good. Then with a brush like this by Sephora Collection, I'm just gonna buff and blend it out. So I'm really torn as to what I want to do for today's look. I know for sure I want to incorporate some type of color. So I pulled out this palette here. Now I have tried these little mini palettes by Too Faced. This one is called That's My Jam, and it's filled with a bunch of beautiful like purple tones. But I also have this Super Shock shadow that was sent to me by ColourPop in the shade Moon Daisy. And it's so pretty, you guys. Look at that swatch on my finger. So I think incorporating some of the purples and the blues is going to make for such a beautiful look. So that's the vibe today. I'm really excited. So the first shade I'm starting off with is this shade right here. It's a really beautiful kind of like popsicle orange shade. I'm gonna take that in my crease to act as my transitional shade, and it's gonna look so bomb because in this look I am mixing cool tones and warm tones together. So it's going to make for such a beautiful and sick look. The next shade I'm gonna pick up is this one right here. It's definitely more of like a purpley based brown. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna kind of smoke out my outer V a little bit because I definitely feel like this look calls for some smoke, but not too much smoke. just a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna take that same smaller brush. This is a Morphe, oh no, it's an Anastasia A10, but very similar to like a Morphe M433 in case you guys have that in your collection. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna go in small circular motions right out here. Nothing crazy though. I don't want this to be too intense. So for this next step, I'm just gonna mute out a little bit of lid space just so that way the blue by ColourPop has something to stick to. So I'm just gonna take some concealer. Any concealer will work on an angled brush. I'm just going to slightly and lightly tap it like right in the very like inner part of the eye. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this look. It's kind of like a really pretty sunset right now. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you guys like where this look is going? Honestly, I feel like I should do the purple instead of the blue, but we're gonna do the blue. Whatever. Do whatever it is that you're into. So now that that's said, I'm gonna go in with this by ColourPop. This is in the shade Moon Daisy. Ooh, this is probably what I'm most excited for. I'm going to apply it with my finger to get maximum color payoff, and I'm just gonna go like this. Now, because I do have acrylics, I'm just gonna go in with a flat brush. This is by Alter Ego. This is the number 8 brush. I really love this brush collection by Alter Ego. I will have it listed down below. I do have a discount code with them as well if you guys wanna check it out, but they have so many great brushes in their collection that I use on the daily. This one especially is good for like cutting the crease and things like that, and using like shadows like this by ColourPop. Ooh. So I'm just going to press and then just try to get it in the crease. The only thing about these shadows by ColourPop is that they definitely go on best with your finger, but look at that. That is beautiful. So after looking at this on the lid, it definitely has more like purpley reflex to it. So I think going in with this shade right next to it is really just going to tie everything together. You guys know me, I love to go in with like a second shimmer. So I think putting this right next to it is going to help it blend a little bit better into the darker purple I have in the outer V. So I'm just gonna take that same flat brush and lightly start buffing and blending it into that blue. I'm just gonna pick some up on my finger and then just tap it on as well. I think that this is gonna melt everything together. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of like the lid color down below. I think it looks awesome. It's so pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this shade right here, the darker shade, and I'm just going to buff and blend it into the purple in the outer V. But this is such a pretty like smoky look, and I'm really, really into it. Now, because I knew I was going to test out a new base product in today's video, I already primed with my Hard Candy Sheer Envy Face Primer, spot on dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Face Primer. I pretty much sound like a broken record at this point because I always say that in my videos, but I do like to repeat it in case some of you guys are new here. I also prep my skin with a little bit of my Color Correcting and Brightening Duo by Laura Mercier in the shade 3C. Love this so much. With that being said, let's get into the foundation I will be testing out. I've had this in my collection for a hot minute and I'm just now getting around to testing it out. This here is by Essence. They sent over this large and in charge PR package. They sent over every single shade of the foundation, which I can appreciate because they sent it over in like little tubes. So it's not wasteful whatsoever. I'm going to be able to determine my perfect shade today. How about that? I do want to read some specs on the foundation. It says that this is a hydrating foundation. It has hyaluron and aloe vera. It's long lasting and it's going to give you 24-hour hydration. Ooh. I did pull out 2 shades that I think would be pretty good matches for me personally. This one is 100 Warm Caramel, and then this one is Neutral Buff. More recently, I have been leaning more towards neutral tone foundations because I feel like the warmer I go, the more orange they look on my skin, but that's just me personally. I'm gonna do 2 swatches, one of 100 Warm Caramel and the other one of 140 Neutral. The first shade I'm gonna swatch is 100 Warm Caramel. I'm just gonna take a little bit onto the back of my hand, and the formula, it's fluid, but it's not running down my hand, which I like. So this looks like it could be a pretty good match for me. I'm just going to do a swatch here. That looks so good, and it's shade 100. That is crazy. I am pretty pale right now, and sometimes I feel like I like to think I'm a lot darker than I am, but I'm not. I also have 140 here as well, which I'm gonna swatch right next to it. You know what? I think I'm going to lean more towards warm caramel. I know. Crazy. So I'm going to take some of this onto the back of my hand. I'm going to dot it all over my face, and then I'm just going to buff and blend it with a brush just because I'm really, really interested in seeing the coverage on this. So another thing that Essence has is this right here. It is a makeup and baking sponge. I did run it under water, but it still feels a little stiff. Like, I'm gonna use it anyways just because it did come with the entire set. So what I like to do is I like to just press a little bit of the product into the sponge before I start blending it out. Okay, this is giving off really nice coverage. I will say I am not a fan of the sponge. It is so stiff. I feel like I'm like beating up my face. Oh no. You know what? I really want to give this foundation a fair chance, so I'm not going to use a sponge. Unfortunately, I have to write the sponge off. It's just way too stiff and way too hard for me personally. I'm going to take a little bit more of that foundation onto a brush, and the brush I'm using is by e.l.f. This is the Complexion Duo. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the foundation on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna use this to start tapping the foundation into the skin so I can get maximum coverage. And you can see this is definitely giving me better coverage than the sponge. I also am not sure if I mentioned, but this formula is also vegan, which I know a lot of you do request that I use vegan-friendly makeup brands and cruelty-free makeup brands, so I did want to put that out there for you. But look at that coverage. It is beautiful and it looks very, very natural on the skin. It honestly really doesn't feel like I have much of anything on my face, which is nice. And I'm really going to town. I want to build this up. I really want full-on coverage today. So I definitely want to give you guys an up-close view of the foundation. It looks so natural and skin-like, and I'm just so impressed. Also, the shade match 100 Warm Caramel. I feel like this is my best shade match in the drugstore in a really, really long time. Like, I'm so shocked. This does bring me to today's giveaway. Essence was nice enough to send over 3 full-size bottles of this foundation in the PR kit, but none of them are gonna match me, so I wanna give back to you guys. If you are any of these 3 shades right here, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to ship them to you. Also, leave your Instagram handle just so that way it's a lot easier for me to contact you. So, happy giveaway, good luck. Again, I will be choosing people at random, so just let me know if it will be your shade down below, as well as your Instagram handle. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to concealer because we need to do some concealing here. So I'm not gonna be using a super new concealer. This has very much been on the market for a while, but I have new versions of it that I could finally use in my collection because my other ones were expired. This is the Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I have 2 shades here. I have Vanilla and Cashmere. I think I'm just gonna go in with the shade called Cashmere. It's in the shade 360, by the way. I'm gonna take a little bit of this underneath my eyes to conceal. I'm also gonna take some here to lift the eye a little bit. Now, if you guys wanna also win the shade Vanilla to go with your foundation shade, let me know because I'll be happy to ship that to you as well because I have an extra one and I really don't need to. Look at me, just trying to give makeup away in my video so that way I'm not so much of a hoarder. We love to see it. I'm gonna use the opposite end of my e.l.f. brush and I'm just going to tap in the concealer. Ooh, this is drying super fast. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I totally forgot how fast this dries. Oh! Oh my god. I almost thought I ruined my makeup. I will say, this concealer with the Essence foundation, not a good match. This formula is way too dry for that foundation. You're definitely gonna wanna go in with something that is a little bit more hydrating on the skin. Why I decided to go in with that concealer, as if I didn't know it was gonna be full on coverage and just very dry on the skin. Girl, I'm telling you guys, these first impressions can be very, very stressful. What I'm doing now is I'm taking that brush with a little bit of that concealer on it and I'm just using it to blend out my eyeshadow in the very inner corner. just so that way I don't have any harsh edges here. In my personal opinion, this look definitely calls for a brow bone highlight. So I'm gonna use this right here by Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the luminous powder that is still in the holiday packaging. I know she revamped it, but I still have tons left in the holiday packaging, so I'm just using it up at this point. But I'm gonna take a little bit onto a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna take it right here at the highest point of my brow bone, and I'm gonna use this to act as my brow bone highlight. It's soft, it's subtle, and it's gonna add a really nice glow to the brows, brow bone. All right, so for loose powder, I'm gonna use this right here by Bare Minerals. This was a part of their holiday collection, which again, why it is in the holiday packaging. But I really want to try this out to see what it's all about. I believe that this is just a loose powder that you put all over. So I broke the seal, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake here. And then I'm just gonna take it and set my entire face down. Oh, it's kind of like a salmon color. I feel like the light is really blowing it out in that sense, but it definitely pulls a little bit pink. So I'm a little nervous. I'm just gonna pick up what's in the cap here on a fluffy brush. This is the number 2 brush by Alter Ego. And I'm just gonna tap and set my entire face down. Interesting. So yeah, it definitely has no color to it. And usually I wouldn't use a loose powder to set my entire face, but I mean, why not? If you guys have used the Bare Minerals powder, I would love to know, like, how do you guys use it? Do you use it to bake? Do you just use it to lightly set? I feel like it is a really popular powder. It's been around for a while, so I'd really love to know your thoughts. I'm just going to hit my forehead. I'm curious to know if it has flashback though. Like, am I gonna look like Flashback Mary?
Flashback Mary. He preys on innocent youth.
So I actually don't have a new bronzer to test out in today's video, so I will be using the Blush and Bronzing Duo by Jaclyn Cosmetics in the shade Sun Kissed. It is so pretty. Ooh, this actually looks like it's gonna complement the look very nicely, but I'm not going to use the blush, unfortunately. I do have a different product I wanna use, but the bronzers are incredible. I mean, the blush formula is the same as the bronzers, but I won't be using it today, mainly because I do have a different blush I really wanna use for today's look. But look how seamless and flawless that looks on the skin. Very, very easy to blend, and it's just like effortless. Now for today's look, I'm not really gonna contour at all. I'm just going to take a little bit of the bronzer and go in that same W motion that I've been doing in a lot of my videos. It's not for everyone though, so if this isn't your style of bronzing, then definitely skip it. And then I'm gonna take an even smaller brush and then just kind of chisel out the bridge of my nose. And then to tone the edges down, I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Fenty face powder directly over top, and this just kind of tones down the bronze moment and just neutralizes it a little bit, but it's still gonna be very much there, just not as in your face. I'm also gonna take just a little bit of translucent powder on the edges of my nose to bake, because this is just what I do whenever I contour. Now I know I said I wasn't going to be using the Jaclyn Cosmetics blush, but I cannot help myself. I was going to use this cream product by Kaja, but because it's cream and my face is so incredibly matte, I'm just like, look, I'm not gonna take the risk today. I will use it in a future video when I am going for something a little bit more dewy and luminous, but I will be using the Sun Kissed blush. Y'all, this is so pretty. Y'all have to get your hands on this bronze and blush duo. It is just so pretty on the skin, and it just blends out so beautifully. I'm just taking it onto the apples, and then I'm just working my way back. Now I recently got a bunch of the Too Faced lip injections. These are lip plumpers, and I wanna try this one out. I wanna say this one's just in clear. I'm gonna put this on so that way it could really plump my lips before I actually go in with my lip color, and I'm gonna wait for it to sit there. Oh my God, I'm like a little nervous. I haven't used these in so long, so I don't know what to expect. Now, because this look is a lot more purple than I originally anticipated, I am gonna go in with a blue eyeliner in my waterline because, again, cool and warm tones. I like this one. This one is by LA Girl. This is the Pastel Dream Auto Liner in the shade Powder Blue. So I am gonna go in with a little bit of mascara today, but not too much. I'm gonna use a new mascara that I've had in my collection. This is the Warrior Princess Mascara by Fenty Beauty. And the reason I'm not going in with too much of it is because I do wanna play around with the Pro Magnetic Lashes by EYELASHES. I've had these in my collection for a minute and I really want to give them a chance to see what they're all about. So let me just coat my lashes really quick. Ooh, so I will definitely say this is a really pretty mascara. I'm not putting too much. Usually I'll go ham and I'll just really layer on the mascara, but I don't want to do that because I don't want my lashes to be in the way of putting on the falsies. So let's get into the magnetic lashes. I have some individuals here, but then I also have these here. I think for today's look, I really want to go for the individuals, so I'm a little nervous. You know what's crazy is that this is how many individual lashes you get in the packaging. You also get the magnetic liner here. Now, because I suck at doing like liquid eyeliner of any sort, I am going to start off with a little bit of crayon eyeliner to act as a guide for where I want to place the liner. That way, all I have to do is just go in with the magnetic liner directly over the areas where I put it. I know, cheating a little bit, but if you're not good at liner like myself, then this definitely is the way. Just a little faux wing. I should have did this like before, but I didn't know if I was actually gonna go through with testing these out because I've been putting it off for weeks. I'm just gonna take a clean angled brush and use it to blend out that line. I don't wanna take it too far though. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that liner onto the angled brush and I'm gonna use it to connect everything together. So now that I have a very thin wing going on, I can go in with some of the magnetic eyeliner. And I'm only gonna put this towards the very outer V of my lash line because I'm gonna be doing more of an accent lash, especially considering that not many come in the pack. So I'm really just going to trace exactly where I put this wing. And now we're gonna jump into actually applying these directly over top. I'm literally so excited, you guys have no idea. I'm hoping that this is going to be one of the first pairs of magnetic lashes to actually work for me. Fingers crossed. So I picked up one of the long magnetic lashes and I'm just going to tap it here. I'm gonna pick up another long lash and again, I'm just going to continue placing it exactly where the magnetic liner is. Oh my God. Ooh, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Should I use like something plastic? So yeah, my tweezers definitely attracted the magnet and I pulled both of them off at the same time. Oh, it says you're supposed to just use your fingers. How? I have long nails. I will say these magnets are very, very strong and you really don't want to put them too close to each other. Listen, these individual ones, I'm having some issues. So I'm gonna go in with these instead. This is just a strip one. I feel like the individuals are a little bit too advanced for me. I'm just gonna put on a strip. So surprisingly enough, I don't have any highlight in my little cart, so we're just gonna skip out on highlight completely. And we're gonna move on to the lips. I've had this lip palette in my collection for a while. It's by Makeup by Mario, and I figured we can just create a custom lip color together. I feel like this is great for anyone who wants to really create different nude lip colors or just vibrant lip colors in general if you are a freelance makeup artist. I have this in my kit as well as in my collection because I feel like this is a staple product. I do want to go in with just a little bit of this shade here, but first I need to go in with a little bit of lip liner. So I'm just gonna use KKW Nude 2. You guys already know how I get down. This is my favorite nude lip color. Now that I have just a little bit of lip liner, I'm gonna go in with this shade here, and I guess you put it on the palette. This is so cool. I wanna do more of like a nude pink. So I'm gonna take some of the vibrant pink too. And I'm gonna mix those together to see what I come up with. This is so cool. Okay, that's way too pink for me. So I'm gonna keep adding some of that nude to the pink to see if I can lighten it up a little bit. Cause I want like a nude pink. I don't want it to be like full-blown pink. Just because I want to add in just a hint of blue to see what it does. This is fun. I feel like a chemist No, don't add in blue. Don't add in blue. Did I ruin it? Maybe. I'm gonna add in some white to see if I could tone it down. I guess the only downside to this is that if I wear any of these colors and you guys ask me what's on my lips, I'm not going to be able to tell you, but I'm pretty happy with this pink right here. I'm just gonna put it all over my lips. All right, you guys, you already know what's up. I went ahead and zoomed you out so that way you can get a feel for the final and completed look. I do want to point out that usually I go in with setting spray to really just melt down the powders to give me more of like a dewy luminous feel. I did that. In fact, I did it twice. I used the Hangover X setting spray, and then I also use the Rare Beauty setting spray, which is one of my personal favorites. And my face still looks so incredibly matte, it's almost scary. It was so matte that I was like, hold up. I need a little bit of highlighter, so I put on the Ice Highlighter by Jaclyn Cosmetics. And even still, my face looks very, very matte, which is strange because the Pretty Natural Foundation by Essence is more of a hydrating formula. I'm not sure if it is the Bare Minerals powder that I put directly over top, but I'm going to continue playing with all the products so that way I can give you guys an accurate speed review at the end of the month. I'm going to be taking notes, and I will be using these products both on and off camera so that way I can give you guys my updated thoughts in a future video. So make sure you guys are subscribed so that way you guys don't miss out on that. Turn on your post notifications and give this video a big old like so that way I know and I can film more videos just like this. And with that being said, I'm gonna go. I have to wipe all of this off of my face and jump on Amazon Live. If you guys want to catch me on future live streams, then I'm gonna have my direct link to my Amazon Live profile down below. So that way you guys can give me a follow and then you'll be notified when I go live next. So I'm gonna go. I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.